the woman who broke the glass ceiling in the culinary world.
It's a love story to New Orleans, and it's the history of the modern American food movement and hospitality in one kicky old broad story. So.
It's the story of her mom, Ella Brennan, now on the silver screen. Commanding it like she's commanded the table and the culinary world for 70 years. But this movie elevates her story, much like Ella's always done with food, and taken it to new heights.
We were all blown away by it. I mean, had the great good fortune that Mom's been filmed and done a lot of things,
Yes.
but nothing of this caliber.
Really?
And it's just, it's touching for us as a family, and it gets it right. I mean, it tells you the whole scoop, the whole story, the good, the bad. I don't know how Leslie did it, but she captured it.
Leslie Iwerks is exceptional. She's an Academy Award-nominated documentary filmmaker. Some of the heavy hitters featured in her movies include Steven Spielberg, Steve Jobs, Robin Williams, Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, George Lucas, and Samuel L. Jackson. Show business is in her DNA. Her grandfather created Mickey Mouse. And together with Walt Disney, they made magic.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Mickey Mouse.
Leslie creates documentaries with the same passion, precision, and zest that Ella does menus.
We got along swimmingly right out of the gate, and I just said, hey, if you're game, I'm game. She's like, great. And so we just basically started figuring out how to make the film.
Initially, others working on the project said it should be a 40-minute film. But the more Leslie learned about Ella, the more time she needed.
This is no 40-minute film. This is a feature-length film. It needs to really do her justice.
Mom's 91 was so we're sort of like, you know, a minute a year, you know.
Ella Brennan's always been years ahead of her time. First by working in the male-dominated restaurant industry, then by dominating it. Niece Lolly Brennan says she's as gutsy as she is giving.
My Aunt Ella is this amazing woman, way back when in a man's world, and how her goal is just to help everybody that she can possibly help and mentor them and guide them and help them all to get to a better place in their lives. It's pretty special.
It was also seasoned with struggles and setbacks, which is why Leslie says it's such a powerful film.
I couldn't just do anyone's life story because it's like, you know, it's really enterprise, unique, dynamic, you know, visionaries and people that had some sort of passion and then were able to break through and be almost outliers in many ways, you know. And I think Ella was an outlier, and I think she was a disruptor in the food industry and put her own vision on things.
She could see talent and grow it too.
She can find talent within. And she can say, that guy has what it takes. He's got, she would say, magic in his hands.
She saw that magic in Paul Prudhomme and discarded the fact he had no formal culinary education and that he cooked Cajun. Despite others' objections, Ella hired him as the first American chef to head a major New Orleans restaurant. Together, they pioneered Nouvelle Creole cuisine. They put Louisiana on the culinary map and made Commander's one of the hottest restaurants in America.
That ability to lead and direct she's a great conductor.
Her next chef, the then unknown 20-something Emeril Lagasse. As the film reveals, the Brennans were now restaurant royalty.
Ella Brennan, what an iconic name, what an iconic woman. I would say that there's no more important female restaurateur ever in American history than Ella.
She was always this grand personage who presided over a kitchen that was an incubator of talent.
She has this gift of being able to bring out the best in people.
Ella was a celebrity restaurateur before there were celebrity chefs.
As things started evolving, we became really a great team because I could really execute a lot of those visions that she had.
When Brennan's opened in the Quarter and then Commander's Palace, they immediately were elevated to the ranks of New Orleans restaurant royalty.
To me, every chef who came out of Commander Palace were a breed apart.
I always felt like Cajun and Creole crashed right here in the kitchen at Commander's Palace, and wonderful things have been happening all over New Orleans ever since.
Wolfgang's California, Danny Meyer is New York, Ella Brennan is the South.
And there's no way you can talk about New Orleans without talking about Ella.
Her life's work has permeated the whole landscape of American cooking, American restaurateuring.
Her parties were covered by the press. We met many, many famous people there.
It was always an amazing time just with these cast of characters literally coming through the house at all hours.
She has this incredible gene about people. She's practically a genius at that.
And thank you all for coming over.
She's like the pizzazz ambassador of New Orleans. I mean, she's in her 90s and she's just got this pizzazz. There's not another word for it.
What did you learn from her that you will carry with you about life, about success, about creating something?
That's a good question. I think, you know, one thing that I really bonded with her early on was just that strong work ethic and that never say no attitude, and she really embodied that.
Those qualities, along with her exacting attention to every detail, every dish, and her unparalleled hospitality, won Ella the James Beard Lifetime Achievement Award in 2009.
Everything that she has told me, I've kind of put into my culinary DNA. And more than that, really, she's helped me become a better person. Not just, you know, what goes on the plate, but she's helped to mold me into the best chef that I can be.
I think that's the secret of it. I think you have to have the passion. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing and love it, and love it, and love it. I always say every customer is a crisis. I don't mean with the customer, I'm with us, making sure that the customer's treated right.
She's since retired and handed over the reins of Commander's Palace to her daughter T and niece Lally. But whether they're in their restaurant or enjoying someone else's, as they are here in Perkins Row, before commanding the table's movie premiere at the Louisiana International Film Festival, you can see they're carrying on the Brennan family tradition of jollity and hospitality.
Tonight we're having fun, but usually we're working hard.
I know.
Serving dinner, and we love it. So we're working hard and having fun.
Was it always your passion too?
No, she kind of pushed me to do other things, and I did. I worked in real estate syndication actually, and got an MBA and did other things. And then she had heart surgery in 1986, and I was like, what am I doing? And I moved home to work with Mom, and I've never regretted it. We sincerely are trying to be the best restaurant in America on any given night. I'm not saying we are, but that's what we're trying to be. Every now and then we hit it all, hit it all right. But you know, that's it. That's what we're trying to do.
Ella didn't make this trip to Baton Rouge with them, but Lally says not to worry. They still celebrated.
We were all at the house, all up in her room before we drove up here to Baton Rouge, and she was wishing us fun and have a good time. Oh, no. My Aunt Ella has lived life, and she has taught us how to live life, and we have been very fortunate to travel with her and go places with her, and no, she's happy that we are here. And so if she's home relaxing, she knows we're here taking care of business and having a good time, and that's what makes her happy.
Is there one thing that she's ever imparted in you or told you that you will carry with you forever? That
I can say two things.
Okay.
One's funny. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. Okay.
Love that
but
one.
The serious one is that a woman always needs to be prepared to take care of herself in life. You wish the best for everybody, but ladies need to be able to take care of themselves. Always.
The Brennan family now owns nearly 20 other restaurants. It's a commanding group. What's the legacy you think Ella leaves behind?
I think she leaves behind a restaurant legacy, a restaurant dynasty, basically, and I think she leaves behind a huge gift to New Orleans as far as her involvement in New Orleans, as far as her involvement in the city, and things she's done for the city, and I think certainly what she's done for the restaurant industry. You know, she's pioneered culinary cuisine, and she brought, you know, California wines on the map to New Orleans. You know, she was the first to sort of bring those out, put them on menus, and I don't know. There's just so many things. I mean, jazz brunch and you know, bananas Foster and.
And now brunch is everyone's favorite meal because of Ella.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Ella was fun. Ella is fun. She represents fun in New Orleans. So colorful, so fun, and so interested in everybody. And she's just a really, really good person.
Guests say she makes you feel like family.
So to have that personal touch. You always have the personal touch.
It's having someone of the family, from the family here every night, walking around telling everyone hi, welcoming everyone. You're coming into someone's home. Even though it's a big, beautiful restaurant, there is that sense of home.
And so, homey.
I do feel at home here. Every time I come in, I feel welcome. Whoever I'm with, they make them feel welcome. And they treat everyone as though it's their first time here and they really want you to come back.
She is New Orleans and everybody loves her.
She's just really a cool lady.
You can watch the entire movie on Netflix. It added Ella Brennan commanding the table to its lineup just this week.